All right, guys, welcome to the World of Wrestling show. As always, I'm your host, Jake Randy, and tonight it is Showstopper. This is the show where we talk WWE news, rumors, and predictions for the week. Without further ado, guys, let's begin this week's episode of Showstopper, episode number 5. Let's get right into it. Alright guys, let's get into all the news this week. Not a lot of news this week actually. I was taking some notes earlier, just making sure I went through everything. Sometimes I go through some of the rumors earlier in the week and I kind of forget about it. So hopefully I don't miss too much, anything that was important. I think I kind of got everything that was pretty much down. Let's see. Alright guys, first things first, I want to start off is the biggest news of the week. If you live under a rock for some reason and you're a wrestling fan and you just missed wrestling, you missed one of the biggest things ever, and I doubt you did, but Daniel Bryan was cleared to return to in-ring action as of this Tuesday or this Monday. It was right before Smackdown Live, man, and the news blew up so fast, very quickly, and people were jumping all around it, all from all the news articles and everything about Daniel Bryan being cleared for in-ring action, something as wrestling fans we didn't think would ever happen, and it just blew us all away. We saw not only Daniel Bryan come out on SmackDown Live and start the show in an emotional and determined speech that he had, but then he ended the show off by actually getting physical. So I don't know if how many of you know, but from what I've read, Daniel Bryan was actually put in the script that they had for SmackDown Live. Apparently it was changed as the show went on because Daniel Bryan wasn't supposed to get physical during the main event or the show, or the part of the show that ended the show. So what I heard was that Daniel Bryan actually changed the script for Bryan to get physical when they were like, screw it, you know what, he's cleared, let's throw him out there and set up a perfect way for the feud. Let's have Daniel Bryan, get his ass kicked, and then they can set up, I think what they're doing is setting up Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. That's what it seems like right now. But man, it was awesome as a wrestling fan to see Daniel Bryan back out there doing signature moves that he hasn't done in forever. Like I said before, this guy is so over yet, and it's insane because he's so over, but he can't compete in the ring for 2 years, and he still has all that momentum that he had 2 years ago, and it's still here today. The fans love him. So many people love him. The other superstars backstage love him. Hopefully big things come for him. I'm here to report today. There's a couple things on Daniel Bryan, though. Not just that he was cleared for in-ring action. As the week went on, we learned a couple of things. The first thing first is that Daniel Bryan is going to be strictly regulated after each match that he has. Any match, live event, live show, tape show, not tape show, whatever it is, every time he has a match, he's gonna have to go straight to the trainer's room and get a concussion protocol anytime after he's had a match, and he has to go straight to the trainer's room just to get the protocol. They're gonna be really strict about what Daniel Bryan and his condition is, rightfully so. This man was his career was over, man. It's insane. It's still shocking to me that we're actually seeing Daniel Bryan in the ring. We haven't seen him have a match just yet, but come WrestleMania, we'll see him back in the ring. And man, it's just it's wild. But like I said, they're gonna be strict on his condition, on his health. He was cleared. Another thing that came out was Newsweek had featured a piece about neurosurgeon Dr. Robert Cantu, who cleared Bryan, and he stated that Bryan had shown no evidence of prior brain injury. So this was really interesting, man. To hear that Daniel Bryan is like that, the way he was cleared. No brain damage, nothing wrong. It really took that much. You know, the WWE was, I mean, it makes sense because the WWE wasn't going to bring Daniel Bryan back unless he was cleared of no sign of any mental wrong health or anything. And, you know, he was cleared by so many doctors, as he stated on Smackdown. He traveled the world, he traveled the country, all over the place to meet some of the greatest doctors and get their approval. And all of them said he was cleared. And we had Dr. Robert Cantu, who cleared him as of, I think, February 28th of this year. And he was stating that, you know, he had checked Daniel Bryan, and he had, after the protocol and everything, that he was cleared of no prior brain injury or no evidence of prior brain injury. And that was some big news about Daniel Bryan that came out. Like I said, that was another thing, is that the decision to make Daniel Bryan physical in the situation that went down at the end of Smackdown Live was a last minute decision, apparently. You know, Daniel Bryan took some big bumps. He took that power bomb right on the edge of the apron, that signature move of Kevin Owens, man. And that's one way to bring him back to the WWE right there. And I have heard, though, what they're planning on doing with Daniel Bryan, or what Daniel Bryan's planning on himself. He's planning to actually kind of downscale his past wrestling, you know, signature maneuvers. He's probably going to eliminate some things. He may not do the flying headbutt anymore. You know, he's probably going to do safer moves. I forgot the exact wrestler they had brought up that he had been studying recently, and he's looking to replicate in a similar fashion because it's a safer fashion for him and still entertaining. And I forgot who that was, but I had read that the other day, or yeah, sometime this week. So good stuff for Daniel Bryan, man. I'm really proud to see him back, and I can't wait to see him at WrestleMania compete again. I mean, you saw that crowd on SmackDown Live, man. They exploded, and they were happy to see him out there doing anything physical in the ring. Some other news, guys. Hulk Hogan is in the news still. If you watch SmackDown Live, they had a segment, or they showed his tweet, his reaction to the Ultimate Deletion, I think it was. It was some sort of tweet, I remember. And there's been drops of Hulk Hogan. You know, there's signals everywhere left and right that the WWE is starting to acknowledge him again. For those of you that don't know, Hulk Hogan had some like leaked footage a couple years ago, I believe it was. Might have been 2-3 years ago, maybe 2 years ago. He had some footage come out that he was saying some racist remarks and some racist words and all this. And, you know, that really affected him. WWE dropped him completely. They tried to erase him from the history, you know, which is really, it's hard to do. I don't want to say impossible, but, you know, it's not easy to do with a guy like Hulk Hogan, a guy they built the business around back then. And, you know, he was so huge that it's almost impossible. It's like almost trying to erase like John Cena or The Undertaker or something for some reason, you know. But lately WWE has been hinting that they're maybe making an offer with him. I had read this article that what was it? PW Insider reported that Hulk Hogan and WWE are having discussions about a potential return to the company. WWE released an official statement to the news outlet confirming the two sides have talked, but also revealing that no contract has been set in place, saying, "We have had discussions with Hulk Hogan about how he can help others learn from his mistakes. However, he is not under any contract with WWE." So nothing confirmed yet. Hulk Hogan, just, you know, signs being dropped that, you know, they're acknowledging him now. That's good news for Hulk Hogan. You know, I was actually just reading before the show started that Mark Henry, I don't know, I read this article. It just says Mark Henry isn't ready for Hulk Hogan to return to WWE yet. He kind of stated in here, quote, "There's going to have to be more community service and outside work, support for programs, and even creative programs that deal with diversity in the workplace. I don't process everything like everybody else. I believe that everybody should be given a second chance, but I also believe that you have to own your own issues. Whatever that issue is, you got to try to make closure on everybody else's behalf, not just yours." So, you know, Mark Henry has a good point there. Yes, it's been a long time since the situation that Hulk Hogan has had, but, you know, it still doesn't, you know, time's not going to heal all wounds. So he still has to own up to what he did. He has to, you know, stand up to show that he's not that kind of person. If, you know, things slip sometimes, you know, he has to really own up to his issue. Basically what Mark Henry said, man, I 100% agree with that. Because if Hulk Hogan does come back, there's going to be some backlash by the fans. You know, with social media today, we saw what happened to the Fabulous Moolah. And I'm not defending the Fabulous Moolah or anything, but that's a great example of the WWE Universe speaking up and causing things like that to happen. Well, basically what happened with the Fabulous Moolah thing, if you guys don't understand, they were gonna host the Fabulous Moolah Battle Royale, which was gonna be the women's version of the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale, but the backlash occurred when people started finding out more about the Fabulous Moolah and her past, and how she was apparently a bad person backstage, basically, just to sum it up real quick. And so Snickers, the brought to you by, the company that's sponsoring WrestleMania and stuff, they caught on to this, and they caught on to the WWE Universe. And I'm sure Snickers doesn't have that many diehard wrestling fans, so this is all new to them. And it's basically, it was them realizing that the WWE Universe was upset about something and they needed to make a change because they were getting a lot of heat. So they made the change to, instead of the Fabulous Moolah Battle Royale, they're going to change it to just the Women's Royal Battle Royale, or the Women's, I forget the name, what is it, the Women's Battle Royale, or something very simple, something very broad. No one's name is included anymore. I'm not sure if they're going to add anyone. There's already only 2 weeks towards Mania, so we have yet to see about that. But my whole point is that, if Hulk Hogan comes back, and the reason he comes back is just because it's been a while since what he said, it's not going to work out. He has to come out and publicly apologize or do something. Even apology, just words aren't enough. He has to come out and really prove that he's not that kind of person, so that when he comes back to the WWE in whatever fashion he decides to come back in, it won't be such an issue. That's my opinion on it, and I agree with Mark Henry, what he was stating. What else is in the news? Let's see, guys. I took a couple other notes. Like I said, there wasn't a lot going down this week, which is pretty rare come WrestleMania time. There's usually a lot dropping. I'm keeping an eye out on social media and anything else, if anything else drops, just in case, I don't know if anything else is going to go come out, so any big news, so I keep an eye out. But other than that, Triple H confirmed in an interview in India that the WWE is still trying to make a deal with Brock Lesnar. It's been a big rumor that Brock Lesnar is going to leave the WWE come post-WrestleMania. He's going to drop the title to Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, and then he may end up in the UFC. A lot of people are thinking he's going to go back to the UFC, have another run over there, and call it kind of quits with WWE, you know what I mean? That's what the rumor is. So I don't know if that's what's going to happen, but Triple H, according to the interview he had in India, he was stating that, they're still trying to make a deal with Brock Lesnar. His future is questionable, and they're just still trying to work a deal. It's very unknown. It's still a mystery. I think it's one of those things that makes WrestleMania kind of interesting, because, knowing that Brock, his future is questionable, it kind of makes you wonder, if he signs another deal, is he going to really retain against Roman Reigns, or is it already set in stone? Roman Reigns is going to win. He's going to be the WWE champion. In my opinion, that's what I see happening. If Brock Lesnar stays, he leaves, I think Roman Reigns is still going to win. But it kind of does make you wonder, if Brock Lesnar does sign again, what does that mean for his future? He's been through so many rivalries. What does he have left? Who's he going to put over? Is he going to put someone over, make them look strong? There was talks about possible Bobby Lashley coming back. I remember at one time about Brock maybe putting Bobby over, and not Bobby Roode, but Bobby Lashley. Big predictions, man. Big rumors, and I don't know. It was never confirmed or anything. I don't know. I haven't heard much about Bobby Lashley, but it was one of those things I heard over the internet a couple weeks back. So I thought that was kind of interesting. I'm not sure. I guess we'll find out more in the weeks, and if not, we'll find out post WrestleMania. Maybe we'll find out the last minute whether Brock Lesnar is leaving or not. And then, another thing in the news, guys. Big stuff going on with AJ Styles. Huge news. I've been stuck on this for a while. Every day wondering, man, what's going to happen? Because AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura have a huge date set for WrestleMania. It's the night that I think they're going to steal the show. It's going to be one of the greatest WrestleMania moments. I know I'm hyping it up a lot, but guys, you have to. It's AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura. These two are so talented in the ring, and I think they can tear the roof down. I think they will. I know it's a strong prediction, but hey, you got to make some strong predictions every once in a while, right? So anyways, the news has been going around that AJ Styles is possibly injured. There was signs of this, that it slowly built onto the WWE Universe, such as, when he was at the Fastlane pay-per-view, and he was in that Fatal 5-Way match, or what is it, a 6-man scramble, whatever it was called. And he was basically put out the whole match. He had a couple of minutes in the beginning of the match with John Cena, and then John Cena how come I can't talk? He AA'd him through the announce table, and that was basically it for AJ Styles. And then he just, at the end of the match, popped out of nowhere, phenomenal forearm to, I believe, Kevin Owens, and that was it. Another sign was we had the Madison Square Garden incident where he was sort of taken out, and there was all this speculation online. Is AJ Styles injured? They had a segment where they made him kind of play like he got injured. They played it off really. They really put some things out there. They used the X symbol, saying that AJ Styles could possibly be injured. That was the huge news that whole week. And then we heard news come out later that day that AJ Styles is not actually injured. It was a work. So there's just been a lot of rumors and speculations. And then there was talk about AJ Styles being on Monday Night Raw this week to get evaluated for his potential injuries. I think we even had Triple H come out and talk about it. I'm trying to remember the exact thing he said, but I think he did mention that AJ Styles is trying to heal up and get ready for WrestleMania. The word going around right now is that actually AJ Styles is going to be back on a live event, so this is good news. It never seemed serious, for AJ Styles to take an AA during that 6-man scramble match. That shows you that he's obviously not that injured, and for him to be at Madison Square Garden and sell the injury but then still come back out with a chair, it shows you that he can't be that injured. It's got to be a small injury if anything. WWE is being very secretive about this, though. Not a lot of information coming out besides that AJ Styles just recently is being put on these live events come this weekend. Dave Meltzer of The Observer noted on Twitter that WWE has stated the champ will work live events this weekend. Dealing with an unknown injury, Styles was just kept off the Smackdown live events last weekend and just briefly made an appearance at the Madison Square Garden show. Basically they summed up what I just said. Good things hoping to come to AJ Styles. I thought by today we'd have a lot more information on him, but I think knowing that he's coming back to the live events is a good sign, and they're still promoting AJ Styles versus Shinsuke. It doesn't look like that match is going anywhere, so I'm still excited for that and looking forward to that night. It's going to steal the show, like I said, guys. Let's see what else we got going on here. Let me look at my notes. We already went through that. Yeah, AJ Styles. The Ultimate Deletion. Let's talk about that, guys. The Ultimate Deletion, man. I saw a TMZ interview with Woken Hardy because he was still in gimmick. And he was talking about the Ultimate Deletion match, right? And he was mentioning the TMZ reporter had Mick Foley on the line, I believe it was. And Mick Foley was stating that he was enjoying the match, but the one thing that was going through his head was, what is Vince McMahon thinking? And that's the exact same thing I've been thinking all week long. And I'm not sure if there's anyone that has word on this, but I haven't heard anything. I haven't read anything. I don't know what Vince's thoughts are on this. I guess we're going to find out Monday Night Raw when we see what they do with Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt. I don't know if we're going to even see Bray Wyatt. He fell into the reincarnation lake, or my mistake. I think I got that wrong, but I'm pretty sure someone's going to correct that. Mixed reactions basically about the match. A lot of people saying they enjoyed it. When it first was going on, though, man, I swear I was on Twitter looking at all the comments and really wanting to get an idea for what everyone thought about it. And I saw a lot of negative comments in a way. I saw a lot of people saying, what the hell is going on? What the hell is this? This is stupid. There was talk about, I think Hulu cut it out. I can't confirm that. I don't know if that's true, but I did read that somewhere that Hulu apparently cut out the segment from Monday Night Raw, because they usually show the replays the next night, and you can kind of watch back what you missed on Raw if you don't have it recorded or anything. If you don't have the ability to go back and watch it. So yeah, man, what did Vince McMahon think? I agree with Mick Foley, but anyways, the TMZ interview that I was talking about with Woken Hardy and Mick Foley being in that TMZ interview saying, well, what did Vince think? That was the only thing I was thinking about. Woken Hardy eventually responded. The one thing he said that McMahon is a tough man to read, and he went on to say things like, if Vince McMahon didn't like it, well, then he can be deleted, still playing his character. Uh, and I just saw, Woken Hardy or whatever, Matt Hardy on Twitter. He was tweeting out a bunch of things, man, a bunch of positive things. He enjoyed all the positive feedback from all the fans. He kept retweeting and tweeting out thank you and appreciating that all the people that enjoyed it. There was a bunch of mixed reactions. Like, my opinion, if you guys were watching my Raw review this week, I didn't know what to think, man, because the Woken gimmick, it's one of those, I guess you could say it's a good thing when it comes to controversial stuff, because it definitely got a lot of people talking on social media and all around the WWE universe, even outside the WWE universe. So unexpected, but at the same time, we did kind of expect it to be kind of like TNA, and it kind of was. Maybe slightly different, but very similar. And the one thing about the Woken and the Broken gimmick is that it's always been that it's almost like so bad that it's good. It's kind of hard to understand, and especially people, if they're casual fans, it's not something they're really gonna get and really be hooked onto. But one of the it was just very interesting, man. And I thought about it throughout the night. My first reaction was like, I don't know if I liked it. As I thought about it more, I mean, I was entertained by it. I might have said I didn't enjoy it on the Raw review, but that didn't mean I wasn't entertained by it. I was entertained, and I was laughing my ass off the whole time because it was just funny. And so I guess if I'm laughing at it, well, it entertained me, right? Kept me watching. It didn't want me to turn off the TV like during a Titus Worldwide match or anything. Nothing against them, but I mean the booking, man. What's going on with Titus Worldwide? Why do we always see him on Monday Night Raw having these tag matches that are all pointless? What else do we get, man? Oh, my question really is just what's next for Bray Wyatt? What are they gonna do with Bray Wyatt? What does this mean? He fell in the lake. Is he gonna come out reincarnated, or what is he gonna do? Is he gonna have a different gimmick? The biggest thing I've heard lately about Bray Wyatt from the fans, the WWE universe, is again Bray Wyatt loses a feud. Again, Bray Wyatt loses. Bray Wyatt always loses a feud. Bray Wyatt's buried. Bray Wyatt's a jobber. And, it's hard to disagree with, man. Bray Wyatt has lost time and time again. He is at a level where he's just looked at as a parody. And that was my main concern with the Ultimate Deletion. It's probably going to get a lot of disagreement, but he's looked at as a parody. So now it made him, I think, look like more of a parody. It's hard to take him serious. I did hear a lot of people say that he was already taking it too serious. So I don't know, man. It's one of those things where, like, Bray Wyatt, he's kind of screwed up already. Either they're going to change him, they're going to evolve his character or something. I don't know what they can do to really help Bray Wyatt, man. It all started back when he lost to John Cena at WrestleMania, right? There goes a bunch of people talking about John Cena's golden shovel. That's just like Triple H's, where he buries everybody. But what else went down, guys, in the news? Let's move on to something else. What else do we have? Oh, Rey Mysterio is in the news again. Apparently, Rey Mysterio was in Birmingham, Alabama yesterday to meet with the doctors as part of his current WWE contract negotiation. PWInsider.com has confirmed. As noted yesterday, Mysterio is off Sunday's New Japan Pro Wrestling event, which he was scheduled for on 3/25 in Long Beach, California, where he's slated to face Justin Liger. Will Ospreay is now taking his spot on that show in New Japan. So WWE reaching out to one of their best talents, Rey Mysterio, a really huge talent to the WWE, and there was talks about him returning before he had got injured. For those of you that don't know, Rey Mysterio had tore his bicep, I think it was, but it was, I think, revealed as a minor tear. I don't know if that's confirmed or what, but he's being evaluated now. So it looks like with WWE concerned about him, that it's true, the rumors of Rey Mysterio looking to return to the WWE. I don't think that was very questionable now. I think a lot of fans kind of knew that, but very concerning ever since he got injured. A lot of people are questioning, is that it for Rey Mysterio? Is he still coming to the WWE? What does this mean? WWE is showing some concern for him, so it does look like they're interested in Rey Mysterio still. Hopefully he handles that injury well, and it's not such a big deal. What else did we get to? The greatest Royal Rumble, that 50-man Royal Rumble that's going to take place in India. Apparently it was confirmed that it's going to be on the WWE Network, as some fans were kind of just going around the network. I guess somebody was trying to cancel the network or something, but they discovered that when you try to cancel a network, it tells you don't miss WrestleMania, and next to WrestleMania it has the 50 greatest Royal Rumble. So it's kind of a confirmed, unless it's an error by WWE, but it seems like it's confirmed that the greatest Royal Rumble will be live on the WWE network for fans to watch and enjoy. I'm not sure what time that's going to convert to where like I'm at or where you're at, but I don't even know if they've revealed a time for the Royal Rumble. Maybe they have, but I don't know. I gotta convert that later. I'll figure it out. But yeah. So I mean, that's good, because what was this gonna mean if it wasn't on the WWE network? You know, what was this gonna do for fans that can't watch it? You know, that aren't there live in attendance. Anyone in the United States. I just hope there's a reason for this. You know what I mean? You have a 50-man greatest Royal Rumble. You have so many big names a part of it. We're talking about John Cena. You're talking about Roman Reigns. People like Triple H. They're really bringing in possibly some old part-time wrestlers and bringing them in as a part-time just for this one show, one-stop appearance. So they're really hyping it up to be this great Royal Rumble, the biggest Royal Rumble ever, the 50-man Royal Rumble. So what exactly is it going to do for the winner, you know? Now that it's being aired on the network, it seems like, well, hopefully there's an actual reason for the winner, you know, and it's not just for fun and games or anything, you know. Hopefully there's a championship match awarded to somebody. I don't know. I'd like to see them do something with that at least, because they're hyping it up like it's going to be a big thing. So why not have a big stipulation at the end of it? What else is in the news, guys? Not, like I said, not much, guys. I'm already coming to the end of everything. Ronda Rousey, she's in the news again. Ronda Rousey, if you haven't been on social media, all you have to do is be following one of the WWE accounts. You'll see that Ronda Rousey has been like pushed, advertised, you know, just thrown on social media of her training and training and training. It's been talked about on WWE Raw. They were posting all these videos of Ronda Rousey training. Kind of shows you how serious they are about getting Ronda Rousey into WWE shape. There's no doubt that she's in shape. It's just that coming into the WWE is such a different sport from the UFC and MMA. So they're really putting in a lot of effort and time for Ronda Rousey to be a good performer. They have her at the Performance Center. It seems like day in and day out, she's always there. The word going around is that she's been training really hard. She's really determined to be good at WWE and step up her game here. And one thing I've been noticing, man, is I said in the past, you know, my thing with Ronda Rousey is if she shows up in WWE and just completely is trash in the ring, the fans are going to turn on her. But you know what? We got to step back aside and realize Ronda Rousey, she's new to the WWE. She's not going to come to the WWE and just get it. You know, it's very rare that somebody comes to the WWE and just gets it when they're from another sport. You know, you're not going to bring in an NFL player or somebody from like the NBA or something, or just any other organization, whatever sport, or even if it's not a sport, whatever they come from. You bring an actor to the WWE. You know, we're not going to expect them to be top-notch AJ Styles or something, and I know a lot of fans don't think that, but I think a lot of people are giving Ronda Rousey a lot of crap whenever, you know, she's new. Give her time to learn. Let's judge her like 6 months to a year from now. But I know what's gonna screw up Ronda Rousey, in my opinion, is if the WWE pushes her too fast. You know, it's one of those things where I think WWE really needs to take their time with Ronda Rousey, build up a couple of feuds. You know, don't send her straight off to the Raw Women's Champion or the Smackdown Women's Champion. Don't put her towards Asuka yet. You know, I've stated in the past that maybe they're planning Asuka versus Ronda Rousey at SummerSlam. Hold off on that, in my opinion. I think wait. You know, speaking of that, actually, one of the news I just read, I'm not sure how confirmed this is, so I didn't want to actually mention this on the show, but I'll say it anyways. Ronda Rousey versus Asuka is possibly a plan for WrestleMania 35. Now, I was just reading on this. There's not too much I read on this because I had to get into starting the show, but I almost didn't want to mention it because I didn't have too much evidence on it, and I don't like to say things that are like not really proven or whatnot. But this was going around in the universe, so apparently that's a thing. Ronda Rousey versus Asuka at WrestleMania 35 already. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns all over again. This is like a year-long planned thing. But again, I don't know how true it is. So if it's true, then wow, WWE is doing that long-term booking with Ronda Rousey. And in my opinion, that'll be kind of not a bad thing. But, you know, if she's going to come out and and the fans are already going to be onto this, that, Ronda Rousey's going to get this huge push, and, it's predictable, then I think the fans are going to start hating her, man. She's going to be Roman Reigns #2 of the female division, and it's just not going to be good for her, man. I really don't want to see the fans turn on her. I'd love to see Ronda Rousey prove everyone wrong. I just, I'm concerned that if they give her too fast of a push, and if she's not that well in the ring, and they're still giving her a push very fast, then the fans will definitely turn on Ronda Rousey. I think that's my opinion. Might have a couple of disagreements, guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Even if you guys disagree, like I said before, guys, I love conversating with you guys. I love any opinion, even if it's way out in space and it's way different than I would ever think. I love talking with you guys. Another thing, guys, WWE is considering. Actually, I jumped a rumor. All right, here's another rumor right here. Samoa Joe is being talked about in WWE news and articles and whatnot, that he is apparently being almost cleared to return. He's got to go see a couple of doctors and get confirmation, and it doesn't look like he's going to return WrestleMania. I could be wrong. Who knows? Maybe Samoa Joe's a surprise return at WrestleMania and causes an interference in a match. But apparently Roman Reigns, we're getting there. That's why I'm thinking about Roman Reigns, because we're getting there. But Samoa Joe is apparently planned to return post WrestleMania 34 after, Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar's the matches happen. Apparently Samoa Joe is going to be one of the first and early feuds for Roman Reigns. And it might be just a roadblock. I don't know. Maybe Roman Reigns is going to run through Samoa Joe. I'd love to see Samoa Joe get his hands on the championship. I think he deserved it back then. But Brock Lesnar was so in the way that they had their plans already set for the future. So Samoa Joe, and of course Braun Strowman, had no chance. But hopefully we see the title on him eventually. I'd love to see a world title on Samoa Joe. I think he deserves it. Hopefully he can stay healthy. I think that injury kind of set him back a lot. The fans were really having him over, and I think when he comes back, the fans are still gonna really cheer him on and stuff. But yeah, apparently he's gonna come back post WrestleMania. That is the plan, and to have him feud with Roman Reigns, and that's possibly with Roman Reigns having the WWE Championship, which is most likely what's gonna happen. What else we got? What else? WWE Live shows. Apparently these WWE Live shows, WWE's been enjoying when they've had dual brand WWE Live events. So they're planning on potentially doing more of these, where they're going to have Raw and SmackDown at live events. So we could see that in the future. My question for this, and the reason I brought this up on the show, was because I'm curious, is this the beginning of the end for the brand split? Is the brand split just going to be a thing long gone and forgotten again? Are we going to start seeing those WWE super shows where Raw and SmackDown are put on the same show? I don't know, but it seems like WWE is moving forward, and kind of like the live events aren't going to be, well, I don't know if they're going to go this route, but if they do decide to go this route, then live events are dual branded. They're going to have more dual branded live events, and then you're going to have pay-per-views that are dual brand events. Eventually, I wouldn't be surprised if it drags on to SmackDown and Raw, and we're starting to see SmackDown and Raw dual branded, and there's not even a brand anymore. There's no such thing as a dual brand, because there's going to be one brand. I don't know if that's the case. We may see that in the future. Just something real quick that I thought I'd bring up to you guys, because I found it interesting, considering that the whole WWE draft and shakeup thing is coming up. Is it really going to matter? I've seen fans complain about it time and time, where they're concerned about things like Shane McMahon being on Monday Night Raw and he was backstage on Raw, or Michael Cole, we saw him, or we have the same commentators we have on Raw and SmackDown. What happened to brand supremacy, and what happened to competition? What happened to Raw versus SmackDown? Why is it just at Survivor Series? Why can't we see it go on more? Why are SmackDown superstars going to Raw, and why are Raw superstars going to SmackDown? So just thought I'd bring it up, because I've seen a lot about that. I've seen a lot of fans angry about that. But WWE should know what they're doing, and we'll see what they do come in the future. I want to know what you guys think about that. What else is going on? I think that was mostly it of everything, man. I just want to say a couple of things, a couple of highlights of the week, man. Adam Cole versus Pete Dunne, guys. If you didn't see this past week of NXT, you guys gotta watch it, man. If you're a fan of wrestling, if you're a fan of the entertainment, you guys really need to check NXT out because NXT TakeOver is going to be huge. Two things that really caught my attention this week on NXT. I mean, you had Pete Dunne versus Adam Cole, which was an excellent match. These guys can really go at it. We've seen them in the past. They had another great match. And then we also saw, what else? We saw Johnny Gargano, who came back to NXT, invaded NXT. You know, he has that storyline going on. If you guys don't know about this, you really got to check it out, guys, because Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa, it's going to be really huge, and I think it's going to be one of those great matches. And I think it's honestly going to steal the show of NXT TakeOver. But yeah, they had some great segments on NXT that I thought were really exciting and really caught my attention. So just my heads up, guys. You guys need to keep your eyes out for NXT. I know a lot of people don't talk about it too much, but NXT is doing big things, and they're having really entertaining shows. For any person that doesn't like what's going on in the main roster, I suggest going to check out NXT, and I think you'll enjoy what's going on there. I think that's it, guys. A really short show tonight. You know, I don't think not many people will join the live stream tonight, but I think it's because you know what? I didn't do any of the tags. That's what it is. My mistake. I need to get on this live stream better, but I don't think I did any of the tags this week. I might have had them saved from last time. It might still be on like the Monday Night Raw tags or SmackDown. Yeah, I have the wrong tags. Maybe that's why no one popped in on the live stream tonight, really. But if you guys watching this post live stream, just comment below your thoughts, guys. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you guys want me to do to improve the show. Like I said before, I really want to have like another guest on the show, somebody that could be here with me on the show, and we can kind of feed each other information, so we can kind of keep the show rolling really smoothly, because there's a lot to handle, you know. Doing this live stream, I got all these buttons, I got the dual monitors here, I got notes over here, I got all the images that I put on the screen, you know, I got the camera here, so a lot's going on here. So forgive me, guys, if anything's ever unprofessional. I'm trying to make it as professional as I can, working on, you know, everything else, like backgrounds and such, audio, all that stuff. I hope audio is going well, because there was one time I actually filmed without the audio, and that sucked. But as of right now, it seems like it's good. But that's gonna be it for me, guys. I think what else was I gonna say? I think that was it, man. One thing to look forward to, guys, is WrestleMania week. I'm gonna try to do it big. Of course, guys, Monday nights I have Raw reviews right after Monday Night Raw at 10:15 p.m. Central Time. Tuesday I got SmackDown reviews at 9:05 p.m. Central Time. And Saturday, just like tonight, you can find me here for Showstopper, where we talk WWE news, rumors, and predictions at 9 p.m. Central Time. I know I was 10 minutes late today, but I'll try not to be late next week or Monday Night Raw review, as I'm still trying to get used to all this stuff. But look forward, like I said, to WrestleMania week, man. I'm going to try to bring it big. Like I said, I'm going to have the Monday Night Raw review, Tuesday night SmackDown review. Wednesday, I think this isn't official. I'll bring out the full official schedule to you guys, but I think Wednesday I just may do this project I've been working on. It's gonna basically be about Vince McMahon and his father and his creation of WrestleMania. You know, there's always so much hate on Vince and a lot of backlash towards Vince about his ideas and stuff. For one night, let's give props to Vince for creating the greatest sports entertainment show, wrestling, whatever you want to call it, WWE. That keeps us all entertained every week, and that's what I'm gonna basically come out with. It's gonna be basically Vince McMahon's greatest creation, WrestleMania, and I want you guys to check that out. It's gonna be pre-taped. I'll throw it up on the channel, I think Wednesday of WrestleMania week. I'm not sure. Like I said, I'll come out with the official schedule. Thursday I'm gonna have possibly predictions, or it might be Friday. I might do Friday predictions. Showstopper probably won't be that Saturday, because Saturday is going to be TakeOver, so I'm probably going to have a TakeOver review that day. And then Sunday, of course, WrestleMania is the biggest night, man. You'll find me here for the WrestleMania 34 review. I hope you guys are going to be hyped for that. Looking forward to doing that show, biggest night of the year. Yeah, so a really big week for me come WrestleMania week. Not next week, but the week after. This week, guys, we're going to do it big as well, just like every week. Join me for the Raw review, which is next Monday, this Monday, whatever you want to call it. But that's going to be it for me, guys, on Showstopper episode number 5. Appreciate all the feedback that you guys give me. Just hit the subscribe button for more information if you believe in the potential of this channel. Hit the subscribe button, man. Thanks for anyone who watched and watched to the end of this video. Appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care. All right, let's get on up out of here. Appreciate it, guys.